What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Pigskin Picks. It's your host, Wayne Breezie. That's me. Mose knows that's him. It's week six. It's week six, and we are back. Now, listen, week five was a little funky. All right? It was weird. It was weird, right? So, here's our schedule update as far as how we're doing. We both went 7-7. I didn't expect to both go 7-7, but that's how it all worked out. Mose and I were out on the road, and we're just like, dang, this team lost. And it started with the Thursday night game, Mose, and I was just like, oh man, Thursday night didn't start us off right. And you know what? It is what it is. Mose, how you doing, and how you thinking this week's gonna fare out for you?
Bro, I don't know.
You
Last week
can't
kind
say
of
you
messed it
don't
up.
know.
Last week kind of messed it up. I hope I didn't lose my mojo because I mean, listen, the week 4 I went 13-3. That's a really good week.
That's a
So to go
serious good week.
13-3 down to 7-7, I'm like, but yeah, we got a couple bad breaks. So hopefully, the ball bounce either one of our ways this week, man.
Let's get right into it. Listen, 44-34, Moses 50-28. He has a nice sizable lead. I got to figure out how to catch up. So us picking the same teams ain't going to be it. So hopefully we start this week. It's the Broncos in Kansas City. Mose, who are you rocking with Thursday night football?
I don't expect us to start this one differently because I damn sure not picking the Broncos. I'm going Chiefs. Self-explanatory.
All right, so we both going Chiefs right here. I mean, listen, it's gonna take the whole Chiefs offense to like be depleted for me in order for me to pick the Broncos. The Chiefs just got that offense. They're getting a great defensive player back in Nick Bolton. He'll be back as well. I just feel like the Chiefs defense is going to be too much for the Broncos. Will we get another 70 burger on that defense? I don't know, but it's the Chiefs for me. All right, now we got to go Sunday, 9:30 a.m. London game. It is not the Jaguars this time. And damn, we lost here too because the Bills took the L. This week, we got the Ravens at the Titans.
Yeah, Ravens laid an egg last week. I mean, they were winning for a majority of the game, and then somehow Pittsburgh was able to find some type of moxie to come back in that game. Um, Both of these teams are traveling to London. You don't know how they're going to fare. I'm just going to go with the better team in this matchup. Give me the Ravens.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, they both ended up, well, the Ravens ended up taking that L bad. And not only did they lose, they looked bad. Like Lamar Jackson, it may have been one of his worst games of his career. Too many turnovers for me. It just didn't look good. I feel like they're so indecisive with running the ball. But when I look at the Tennessee Titans, I think it's time for them to make a weird switch. And I'm not saying that like I don't want to see Derrick Henry, but he's no longer King Henry. So I gotta call him Derrick Henry. But Tajay Spears may just be that breath of fresh air they need out of that backfield. He gives you speed, and he can get into the end zone. I've been going with the Titans all season. I can't go with them in this week. I feel like the Ravens on the road, even though they're both going to be in England, it should be a pretty fair game because they both have to travel there. It's not like one team has been sitting there. I'm going to go with you. I'm going to go with the Ravens as well. All right, let's go Commanders at the Falcons in Atlanta.
Falcons win at home. That's just something that they do. Last year they beat us at home, and they weren't even supposed to do that. I picked against them. What was it last week? I think I picked against them, and they found a way to get a win at home against the Houston Texans. It was a close game, but they found a way to win. With the way the Commanders looked against the Bears, I don't see them, turning a corner that fast. And again, like I said, the Falcons just find a way to win at home. So I'm gonna take the Dirty Birds here.
Interesting, right? Because to me, the Commanders got punched in the mouth. The Bears started playing really lackadaisical on defense, and the Commanders were making a shot to make some type of a comeback. Will the Falcons do the same thing? Will they start off fast? Will they punch them in the mouth? You saw Desmond Ritter have the best game of his career last week. Will he be able to find and spread that ball around, get the ball to Kyle Pitts, get the ball to Drake London, get the ball to Bijan Robinson, all of the targets that he has out there? At home, you were right. I got to go with the Falcons here. I just don't see the Commanders traveling to Atlanta, even though it's on the same time zone. The Commanders just looked weird. They looked weird defensively. Even though they were getting sacks, but they just couldn't get the ball back for their quarterback, and their quarterback turned the ball over way too much. Sam Howell, he's just not it. So I'm going with the Falcons here. All right, you got the Vikings traveling to Chicago. We were just talking about the Bears. The Bears. Um, the Bears finally got a win. The Vikings got a win. 2-1-4 teams. Mose, who you rocking with? Huh?
This is a tough one too. I think it would be easier if Justin Jefferson was playing.
Good point.
Um, that's for my fantasy team because he's on IR at least for the next 4 weeks. The
Possibly
Vikings
this
may be
season.
about a fire sale. Uh, Word is that Kirk Cousins may be on the move, and they just completely restart and rebuild. Um, with that said, the Bears have looked pretty good the past couple of weeks. I think they're starting to figure some things out offensively. Um, and I think defensively, they'll come in with a little bit more motivation and excitement because they don't have to deal with Justin Jefferson. They have to deal with KJ Osborne and a rookie wide receiver in Jordan Addison. And the Vikings do not run the football particularly well. That defense can be had also. I'm going to take the Bears at home.
Yeah, I'm with you. The Bears. So far, we just picking all the same damn teams. I'm looking at my picks, my pick'ems. So I already did mine, and Moses going through. So yeah, man. Look, they're on a 2 game playing good streak. That's how I'm looking at it. They got one win out of those 2 games. I hope I said that right.
No,
But
you got it. That was
Justin Fields and DJ Moore look good, and then they got the tight end machine in the end zone and the red zone and Cole Kmet. The question is, will they be able to successfully run the ball? Will it be Deontay Foreman? Will it be Roshan Johnson? That'll be key. I just don't think that the Vikings defense would be able to stop this high-powered of an offense with Justin Fields playing as good as he is. I'm going with the Bears here. Another 1 o'clock game, man. This one is going to be dope. You got the Seahawks against the Cincinnati Bengals. Most knows who you going with, huh?
this was another tough one for me because the Bengals also look like they're turning a corner. Joe Burrow looks like he's finally getting healthy. He's able to do a little bit more than he was previously as far as movement, planning, being able to get the ball out. But the Seahawks are coming off of a bye week, so this could be one of two things. They could be well rested, or they could be rusty. Coming East Coast, we know the Seahawks aren't a very good road team. They play better at home. If this game was in Seattle, I think I pick opposite. But I'm going with the home team. Give me the Bengals.
I, I too pick the Bengals. Um, Not just because they're home, but I think it's more of them turning the leaf. And I think Joe Burrow just realized I just got to get the ball to 7-Eleven, right? He's always open. Let me just get him the ball. Good things happen when I put the ball into, Jamar Chase's hands. I can't remember if T. Higgins played last week. I don't think he did, but I think he will be available this week. That might change the way the Bengals play. Like when you only got one guy, you're gonna go to that guy. So I'm curious to see that. Seahawks has a pretty good defense. You saw what they did to the New York Giants on national television a couple of weeks back before their bye week. Interesting fun fact, they lead the team in the least amount of giveaways. They have one turnover all year. Thought that was crazy. One interception from Geno Smith. So he protects the ball pretty darn well as well. He's out in one of those efficient type of quarterbacks. So we'll see. I do like the way that the Seahawks do, particularly try to run the ball. Can the Bengals defense stop Kenneth Walker? Can they stop Zach Charbonnet and the rushing attack? Damn. But I'm with you. I got to go with the Bengals. They look like they're turning the leaf, and it might be too much pressure for the Seahawks to win on the road traveling west to east. You got the 49ers at the Browns, which is funny because it's another NFC West team traveling east. And so it's weird because I don't feel the same way about the 49ers and the Browns. Most, who you taking in this one? And so we got the next week matchup. We got the Panthers and the Dolphins. What do we need to give an explanation? Listen, I like the Browns defense. I think it's good, but they've never played this offense.
No.
Like they haven't.
And I
And
and
this
I
off.
and I think offensively, no matter what they do, whether it's Deshaun Watson or DTR, I think they'll be a little bit better, only
Dude,
a little
you
bit.
could
I think they'll
scratch. You
be a
could
little bit
scratch
better.
DTR. It won't be him. It'll be PJ Walker. No DTR in this game.
So so no Watson or DTR?
So right now, Watson isn't practicing, and right now, PJ Walker is taking first team reps. And who knows PJ Walker better than Steve Wilkes?
What's the next game on the docket?
All right, so we got the Panthers at the Dolphins. So the two East Coast matchup, the 0-5 Carolina Panthers going against the 4-1 Miami Dolphins. Now they too lost Devon Achan. He's on the IR for the next 4 weeks, but they got their wide receivers. They got Raheem Mostert, and they will be getting Jeff Wilson Jr. back. Not the same explosive speed guy out of the backfield, but definitely a nice ground and pound guy and can get open once he gets out into the plane. So, who you got in this game?
Miami.
Yep. Looks like we're picking all the same teams this week. I ain't never catching up. All right, Colts at the Jaguars. This is a divisional game. This should be weird. Like I feel like you got the 3-2 teams. Jacksonville Jaguars, in my opinion, only play well in London. They got 2 wins in London. That means they were 1-2 before they went to London. Like, you get what I'm saying? They got 2 wins in London. Well, guess what? They're gonna be in Jacksonville. You got Zach Moss and Jonathan Taylor coming into town. Now, Anthony Richardson is also on the IR, but Gardner Minshew didn't look like a slouch when he came in for the first time Anthony Richardson was injured. Who you got in this game? This is a tough one for me.
I got the Jags. I got the Jags because I think they're one of the teams that probably knows Gardner Minshew enough to
Ooh,
frustrate
the
him.
intel.
I
Yeah.
love the Jags pass rush. So I think the pass rush is going to be able to get to him. And if they can just slow the running game down, Moss has looked really good. Jonathan Taylor is getting back into the swing of things. If Garner Minshew doesn't look good from within the pocket, I think they're going to be forced to try to run the ball to create offense. And I think the Jags will be prepared for that. I think the London swing is something that they use to build momentum because they looked really good against the Bills, although the Bills had two major injuries in that game. But nonetheless, they were able to use those two games in London to kind of build some momentum. Now they're back home. They got to sleep in their own beds. They got to practice on their normal practice field, and they'll be in their normal stadium amongst all of the Jaguars fans. Give me the Jags here.
Yeah, man, I want to pick the Colts. I really do. And it's not even, to me, it's not even about the Jags being at home. It's just it's something about the Jags that looks a little different than what it did the first couple of weeks in the NFL. I'm not saying Trevor Lawrence is playing the best football, but if ETN is running the way he did against the Buffalo Bills defense, I just feel like he's going to be able to rush against the Indianapolis Colts defense. So I'm going to go with the Jags here as well. We got the Saints at the Texans. 3-2 Saints, 2-3 Texans. Who you going with here?
I think the Saints are coming off of a high from beating the Patriots in the fashion that they did. So I think there's going to be a little bit of a letdown going up against this Texans team. The Texans team played good against the Falcons. Falcons just find a way to win at home. But now the Texans are back at home on their home turf. Uh, this is what I think the Saints' second road game because they were in Foxborough, and then now they have to go to Houston. Um, I'm just going Texans here. I think the defense will step up, and I think CJ Stroud is going to look good against this Saints defense, even though it was a pretty good one.
Yeah, I like the Saints defense though. Like, and it's not just about what they did to the Patriots. I know they shut them out. But Tyrann Mathieu, hey, going home. Like this is going to be something fun to watch, right? And I do like the pass rush from the New Orleans Saints. I'm actually going to pick the road team in this one. So this will be our first one where we're going to be different. All right. So I got the Saints winning this by a small margin. Um, if and Derek Carr, look, just give the ball to Alvin Kamara, spell him with Keandre Miller, call it a day. Find a way to keep that young pass rush of the Texans away, from the quarterback, and you just run the ball right at him, So I'm gonna go Saints here. We got the Patriots, Force 405 game, afternoon game at the Raiders. Patriots got shut out last week.
I think there's a lot of talk about Bill Belichick and now his ability to coach this team without a star quarterback. Uh, but if there's one thing Bill Belichick knows how to do, that's coach defense. And if there's one person offense that he knows well, it's Josh McDaniels. And if it's a quarterback that he knows well, other than Tom Brady, it's Jimmy Garoppolo. It's a pride thing for me. I think Bill Belichick does not want to get beat by his former quarterback and his former offensive coordinator. I think the players are fed up with losing. This doesn't seem like the Patriot way. I feel like even on the road, they find a way to get back to that, even if it's just for a week. Just for a week against their former OC, against a former teammate. It's pride on the line. I'm going Patriots.
I like it. I like it. Round two, though. I'm gonna go with the Raiders at home. I think the defense is just gonna be too much for Mac Jones. Now, unless they go out and find a quarterback or they got a quarterback already there that's more competent than Mac Jones, there's no way that I don't care how good that defense is of the Patriots, which is not because they're missing 2 to 3 starting players. They do get J.C. Jackson. I believe he'll play this week, didn't play last week. They will have him out there. But listen, he ain't covering Devontae Adams, and if he does, Jacoby Myers is going to be open. Jimmy Garoppolo will have enough time to get the ball out of his hand. He'll probably have 7 turnovers in this game, but I think the Raiders will find a way to remain victorious. They'll find a way to pull it out. They did it against the Packers. I feel like they can do it again against the Patriots. I think Jordan Love, in my opinion, is a little bit better than macaroni and cheese. But at the end of the day, look, I like your statement. You almost sold me. I usually go with the Patriots, but the way they look, it just doesn't seem patriotic. Like I just don't. It's not their way, and I don't know how they're going to get back to the way. You said something about Bill Belichick not being able to coach a star. It's not that. It's Bill Belichick being able to coach a competent quarterback. And Mac Jones is just incompetent. Like you can tell, he's incompetent. He's not comfortable. He's inconsistent. And you know what? It's not Bill Belichick. It's the damn Bill O'Brien. Like he just sucks.
He's terrible.
Next, I'm going with the Raiders. I'm going with the Raiders. Lions at Buccaneers. This is a
Lions.
matchup. This might be my game of the week.
It might start that way, but I don't think it's going to end that way. I think
Listen,
this Lions
I,
team
I,
is
I, I don't
different.
know, bro. Listen to me. One time, I know you know, but you gotta listen. I'm telling you right now, Baker Mayfield playing the best football of his life, right? That means he's on a different trajectory. You know how some quarterbacks get it later on in life? They got to mature like a Geno Smith. Took him 95 teams, right? But he figured it out, right? I feel like Baker Mayfield on this team is figuring it out. He has weapons. They're running the ball consistently. He's passing very accurately. I know they're coming off their bye, but they're getting Mike Evans healthy. Look, I like the Lions. I think the Lions are tough. But this is going to be a matchup, bro. I want to see this. It's going to be bang, bang. Because Aiden Hutchinson might be my second favorite defensive lineman edge in the game. It's Nick Bosa, and then it's Aiden Hutchinson. Love the kid. But I think the Buccaneers offense at home may be a little bit just a little bit too much because there's one guy you can't count out, and that's Mike Evans. That dude can drop 7 passes and then catch 7 for $180 with 2 touchdowns. It's just weird, super weird. I don't get it. Chris Godwin will be utilized as well. Gonna go Buccaneers here. Is that another difference for us? Finally, I'm praying I could catch up. I'm praying I could catch up. I just need to close this gap just a little bit. Cardinals at Rams.
I'm going Rams.
I'm
Uh,
going
they-
Rams too.
They're playing good.
They're
They're
playing
finding
decent.
ways to stay in games. They can't beat, some of the better teams, Eagles, 49ers. But there are games that they're finding ways to win. This is a division game. I think, like us, they're not going to let the Cardinals beat them. I'm going Rams here.
I'm going Rams here too because Cooper Cup is back. I mean, the dude caught over 100 yards in his first week playing NFL football 2023. Didn't get in the end zone. Puka Nakua did. But now he got 2 wide receivers that had over 100 yards. And if you play fantasy football, you may just want to start Matthew Stafford in this game. I don't think the Cardinals can cover a cold at this point. On top of that, Cardinals are going to have a tough time staying in this game. Listen, James Conner's on the IR. Like that was their ticket. Like you rush with him, it allows Josh Dobbs to rush a little bit more because you're going to get the consistent run from your running back. You take that away, it's going to be Dobbs going to have to throw 30, 40 times. I know the other running back is probably going to get the start, but he's no James Conner. So I got to go Rams here. I think defensively and offensively, they're going to put up a show. All right, they're going to put on a show. Let's see. I missed one game, so let me go ahead and enter this in there. All right, you ready? You got the Eagles at the New York Football Jets. Who you going with?
The Eagles haven't been playing well, and I think this game is going to be closer than people anticipate. I think it could be a defensive battle because the Jets' defense is really, really good. Ultimately, I think it's going to come down to, though, the quarterback play. And I think Jalen Hurts is going to make more plays than Zach Wilson does. I think you got a dynamite matchup that I can't wait to see. A.J. Brown versus Sauce Gardner. But then
Mm.
who's going to cover Devontae Smith? And DeAndre Swift has been an upgrade for this team from the running back position. I like you with the Tennessee Titans. I've been going with them all year. I got to go with them again this week, even on the road, but they're not too far from their home. I'm going Eagles.
Yeah, man. I mean, look, 5-0 team coming into New York. Jets are playing better. Zach Wilson may be turning a leaf. Maybe the coaching there is just saying, "Hey, man, just go out there and just play some damn football." At this point, like what worse can happen? You're starting to see it. You see him and Garrett Wilson starting to make a connection. You see an Alan Lazard come into play now. I don't want to pick against the Jets at home. I feel like they can possibly hand the Eagles their first loss. The Eagles been playing in too many close games for me. Should I do it? Nah, I'm gonna stick with the Eagles, man. I'm gonna stick with the Eagles. I gotta stick with the Eagles. I want to though. I want to so bad. I'm gonna stick with the Eagles though. Eagles it is. Sunday night football. Giants. New York to New York. This is a New York game. Giants at the Buffalo Bills.
Bills.
Easily. No explanation needed. And here we go.
No.
Monday night football. The Cowboys at the Chargers. Cowboys
I
coming back to the
probably
West Coast.
yeah. And that would be odd. Did they fly home to Texas only to fly back out west?
If I'm Jerry Jones, I was getting my boys the hell out of California because they needed to go back and
It would have
recharge
been
in
it would have been
Dallas
bad for them all week. Listen,
all week.
I I I normally don't do this. I'm usually very analytical about my picks. I usually try to think critically of what could or could not swing the pendulum. I'm gonna make my pick emotionally, and I think you know where I'm going with this because you were with me this weekend.
You going with the
Um,
Cowboys, bro?
Hell no. Hell no. And here's why. The Cowboy fans
I
have
already know.
officially, the
Pissed you off.
Dallas Cowboy fans have officially taken over the number one spot as my most hated fan base. And that's hard to do because my most hated fan base was the Philadelphia Eagles. And you were with me at the NFC Championship game, and you
They were
know
a
how
lot.
that went.
They
So
were a
for
lot better.
Dallas
Yeah,
Cowboy
yeah.
fans to leapfrog the Philadelphia Eagles as my most hated fan base of ever right now, and you know how that went. We don't have to go into details. They're taking the number one spot. But also looking at how they played that game,
They got punched.
they got mollywopped. And it's on film now.
Yes.
Other teams have that.
Run the ball at him.
Um,
Run the ball at
I
him.
I don't I don't know what they're going to do to combat running the ball at Micah
Because
Parsons.
Austin Eckler is
The
back.
Chargers get Austin Eckler back. I don't know what they're going to do because Khalil Mack looks like he's rejuvenated,
I totally forgot
coming
about their
after the
defense.
quarterback like crazy. They got rid of J.C. Jackson. He might have been a cancer in the locker
Cancer.
room, so now they can move forward fresh on the
I,
secondary.
I think Derwin James plays in this game.
If Derwin James plays, that's a problem. And we saw what good offense and what good quarterbacking can do. And guess who's the offensive coordinator for the Chargers? Guess
Who's
who
the
got jettisoned from Dallas because his offense wasn't creative enough or wasn't putting up enough points? So you mean to
Mhm.
tell me you got rid of me to have this guy call plays, and that's the performance you put on Sunday night? Oh, Kellen Moore is going to have a field day watching that
field day?
49er film and seeing what Kyle Shanahan was able to do. Now he's going to use his creativity and put a spin on it. Like in the words of your shirt and George Kittle's shirt, F the Cowboys, give me the Chargers.
That was easy, man. It was Chargers for me. I don't believe in Dallas anymore. It they were just all this, and now they're still all of that. And so at this point, they're gonna have to really try to make a statement, and they don't play well in prime time either. And I don't think people talk much about that. It's the quarterback prime time. Tell you what, I know who gonna throw for over 400 yards on this defense though. His name is
Jay
Justin
Herbo.
Herbert. So I'm going with the Chargers here as well. This is probably going to be the game of the week. It, woo, great game, great matchup. Monday Night Football. Make sure you guys tune in. Listen, thank you guys so much for tuning in to Pigskin Picks. It's Wayne Breezy. Mose knows. We'll see you next week, y'all. Stay up. Peace.